Welcome back everybody to today's video. We have 3 groups for you to choose from. The theme of the video or today's pick a card tarot reading is going to be what is being said. Out of the 3 groups that we are choosing from today, we have Bliss with the Sodalite, we have Clarity with the clear Quartz, and we have Healing with the green Aventurine. So you can choose whichever group you feel the most drawn to. Timestamps are in the description box and we'll jump ahead to group 1. Okay, welcome in group 1. If you chose the Bliss Sodalite roller, then this will be your reading today for what's being said about you. So the first thing that I was getting is that you need to take a stand for what it is that you actually believe in. Like there's something here where it's like, whoever this is that's saying something, they're saying something about maybe you're quite like a personable person, like you might be really good socially, you might be funny, or you might make friends easily, or you might just have conversations pretty easily, or like good conversations or something, and so it might be easy for you to get people on your side or something like that. But this person's saying that you actually need to take a stand for something here that you believe in. So it's... To me, the cards are kind of coming out together, but the way that this person's speaking about it's almost like in an oppositional energy, like it's you can't just swing by on charm and charisma like you may have had, maybe you were able to in the past somehow. And as much as they're saying that you need to like take a stand for what it is that you believe in, I think there's something here where they're saying that you need to be firmer, or you need to actually be a leader, or that you need to I think they're saying that you can't be both things at once. They're saying that like being friends with everybody and trying to be this leader or teacher or whatever this is in this role, it's like a role of some type of higher position. They're just saying that you can't do them both at once. This person could also be saying something about the people that follow you, you know, putting some sort of like negative spin on like, it's not even a negative spin. It's like they're just trying to put down your followers. So they could be saying that, I was getting the word like decrepit come through, but there's also, it was just kind of trying to say that maybe the people that you would be in charge of, I don't know if in charge is the right word for all of you. It just depends on your situation, right? So even if you're not in charge of like a particular group of people, you could just be in some type of like community leadership way where maybe you're more of like a facilitator than you are a person who's yeah, like you're still running something, but you may not be like a direct report, if that makes sense. Whatever that situation is that kind of resonates for you, because for some of you, you actually could just be a person of influence. It could be that simple. And so this person's trying to downplay your followers and say that they're not like quality followers or something. And that you're like too friendly with them, or that they could be trying to say that there's something that's not that different between the two of you. And that I just heard like get them where it hurts, or hit them where it hurts, or something like that. And then there's like the 8 of Cups with this person walking away. So this person could also be saying something about a way to knock you off your pedestal, which is weird. They could be actually, all right, I want to separate this out just a little bit. I was sort of getting one message, and I think that I feel like that's actually done now, and we're kind of on to a different part. I'm probably just going to keep dousing the sage throughout this. We'll see how we go. It's just the way that I feel. I'm like, we're not that far into the video and we're like already hitting it. So So all the things that are being said, it feels like they're saying it feels like the same person. And I think they're actually saying heaps of different things to different people. Like, I feel like this person actually talks about you a lot. And on one hand, I feel like they're trying to say that you're not that different between the two of you, even though they acknowledge that you are in some sort of like higher position, or you have some sort of standing, or you maybe are a senior, or maybe you have this like influence, whatever it is that you have, they acknowledge that you have that. And at the same time, they're just trying to, I guess, put themselves at the same level as you, like on the same pedestal as you or something. It's like, I was actually watching a reading earlier today that talked something about this, and I've watched a couple. So it could have been Popular Loner, but there was another one that I watched. God damn. If I can remember it, I'm going to link them, because there was a second one definitely, and they both had a really similar message. And it's just this person saying that, yeah, putting you on a pedestal, saying that you put yourself on a pedestal, but then they're acknowledging that you should be there, but then at the same time, they're trying to say that, well, you know, me and group one are not that different from each other. So this is, I think that they're actually just saying all sorts of different things. They really, it just seems like, I think they change their mind a lot. And I think that what they say kind of like changes depending on their mood, and they just kind of flit all over the place. And I think that there could be people here around them that they're kind of close with. Oh, it was, who was the other one? Joelle. No, Joelle, that's not right. It's okay, I'll keep going, and if I remember it, it's so unhelpful. Okay, they could be saying, there could be like a person who's like really close to them, who's just kind of sick of listening to it, or there's something about it where they're just like, they're realizing their own emotional investment poured into this person. Something about it is like not what they thought it was, or not what they wanted. And I think this realization kind of comes in quickly, or it strikes a chord with them. For some of you, it's, for some of these people, it's like after something has happened, happened with you with this other person that they're maybe friends with or something. Jayleen's tarot show, that's the other one. Jayleen's tarot show and Popular Learn. Okay, so two of them, they have very similar messages. Fingers crossed, they're definitely the readings. But it's, that aside, regardless of that, like there could be extra messages there for some of you, but it's like, this person seems like they would just like to start some type of drama or a fight or something. It just seems like this would be the person who wants to like start a fire and just have smoke going all over the place and be like, oh no, like where'd that fire come from? But it also seems like even if that's not really right, even if it was just really cloudy, they would be the person like kind of stirring things up. And again, they would just be like, why is it so cloudy here all of a sudden? But like they've been there in front of everyone doing it. It's just really weird. Anyway, and I think there's something here. So yeah, they want to be on your level. I think there's something here where maybe they're saying that you take what you do like way too seriously. And that they're more like this fun, personable person. So what would kind of be the difference, or like why wouldn't it be them or something? I just feel like we want to park this. Let's try something else. So what are they saying about group one? They could have been saying something about you got to where you did too quickly, or that you left really quickly, or even something about when the heat is on, that you would just walk away. Maybe when things, what is it, arise? Some of you, this could be like a rise in popularity, or like, I don't know, it sounds a bit weird because I'm trying to think of like a real world contextual way to say it, because the way I'm getting it come through is like for other readers. So the way I'm getting it come through, like if you were like a really popular YouTube tarot reader, then maybe you blow up all of a sudden overnight and it like seems like it comes out of nowhere, and then this person is kind of trying to say that you wouldn't be able to handle it or something, or that you would walk away, or that you got to where you thought you needed to be and then you decided to, that was enough for you, like you didn't need them anymore or something like that, which like it's, yeah, I don't know, it's really weird because it actually, you strike me as a person who's very like centered in who it is that you are, and you probably do take what you do seriously at times, I'm not sure, but to the point where it's kind of like not a joke to you, or there could be like that whole divine quality to it, like it could be tied in with some sort of like spiritual religious practices there, so there could be like that greater purpose or that higher purpose in some sense. So this person may not understand that what you're doing kind of transcends the ego, but they also strike me as a person who it suited them at some point to be standing next to you. Anyway, I want to take other cards and just see what else we get here. So we could have Taurus or Gemini here. They could be saying that you're not interested in them, in talking to them, in working with others. So we have, love shouldn't feel like you're competing in the Hunger Games. That's exactly it. If the group chat hates them, they might have a point. So your besties have no reason to lie. They're seeing your situation shit from the outside where it's clearly a dumpster fire, and trust their side-eye stories. And you're not hard to love. They're just emotionally constipated. I'm so confused. You shouldn't have to beg for affection like a houseplant asking for water. Love isn't complicated. Their avoidance is. Flush them out. Yeah, so these could be like similar themes. So this person could say something about your standards are like unachievable, or that having you in close connection to them, it just feels like they're just trying to dress it up or dress it down. They're trying to say that like having you in close connection here is really like a crazy, it's a crazy amount of effort that a person should have to go to, and that really you're the problem here, and they just don't really understand why what they did wasn't like good enough. But also I do feel like there is a hint of competition in this person, where it's not really showing out on the cards other than this kind of competing in the Hunger Games. But I just feel like the way that they were kind of comparing themselves to acknowledging and putting you on a pedestal, but then also trying to put themselves at the same point as you, is definitely one thing. I feel like, if anything else, because we have the King of Wands here, there definitely could be a level of like dominance and control, or a yeah, it feels mostly like a dominance. And we've got the Ten of Swords here as well. I feel like they just wanted to be the dominant person, and they kind of wanted to do that regardless of the cost. Some of them may be saying this about you, right? So it's like, yeah, sometimes we get things come through that are actually the case, but also sometimes it's just going back to the point of the theme. Like, that's something they could be saying about you. You're a really dominant person who wants the control, and you would do it regardless of the cost. There's also, they could be, there is more comparison energy here. So it's like Two of Cups, so it should be like a self-love thing, or a two people in close connection, and there definitely could have been. But for me, it feels like this person would only see the reflection of lack through whatever it was that was kind of given to them in the cup, or in whatever way that you showed up with love was a way that made them feel some type of way. And it was like about a home, a relationship, stable kind of stability, like the house in the home environment or something. It could have really affected how they like tradition here as well, because we have the Hierophant and the Four of Wands, so definitely, and the Lovers, so this could have all tied in with relationships and, like, I guess partners that we choose to live with, like serious partners that we choose to live with over a period of time. So this person could have said that you couldn't handle the heat and that you chose to walk away from something. They could have been an instance here where they wanted to, it's like they're saying that you wanted to be dominant and you didn't care what the cost. And I feel like this particular part of the reading is like very mirrored. It's kind of like one of those things where people say, this is the truth about group one, but really it's kind of them, you know, using their own story to spread like a narrative about you, if that makes sense. So they are trying to say, but keep in mind, this is more reflective of the actual reality about themselves. They're trying to say that you're a person who wanted to be more dominant or have more control over the situation, and that you did it despite, like, whatever this was. It's like you may have exercised or asserted yourself in such a way that it was like to be dominant, and that you didn't care at what cost that was to those around you, and that when all they did was try to give you everything that they had, that it somehow, A, it wasn't enough, but B, even when it was enough, it made you feel some type of way, and that it really affected the home life. But I want to take a second here to just look at this a little bit differently, because I feel like we could be getting different sort of situations come through for different people. I don't feel like this is going to be the case or the same for everybody here. I actually feel like some of this energy is a little bit muddled, and I actually feel like for some of you that we do have a level here of what we might like to assume a person would be saying about us, but also there could be that energy of the situation being flipped as well. So I just want to take stock and take a breather, because we could have a serious long-term kind of traditional relationship where it is like de facto or married, and it could have been something where even if you weren't together for a super long time, there was some type of, like, I don't know, I would say even if you weren't together 20 years, maybe you were together like 5 years, and that's still enough to be on a serious track, right? Something like that. Because I'm kind of getting different people come through, because on one part, it felt like a person comparing you in either like a work or a, what's it called? Like a work, a social setting, or like a societal standing, right? This is coming more into like a relationship connection, so different things for different people, and we'll probably keep going through this. So there could be a really serious long-term relationship, and that was like sanctified union type of, I always get that come through. I'm not religious, guys. I don't know why it comes through. It just does. It's like a very serious one, and or it's like a kind of divinely agreed upon relationship that would occur for whatever period of time. So when people talk about contracts, that would be something contractually that both of you would have agreed to, okay? And that just, there's one of two things here, is that either the heat did get turned up, or something changed very quickly, or something come in that was like super hard hitting. Whatever that was, it looks like you may have chosen to kind of pull back any emotional investment or just totally walk away. You could have like almost just like abandoned, walked away kind of. That's how I think this is all reflective of what this person would be saying. So again, there could be that situation where they're just saying different things to different people, you know, so they could be telling like, you know, their friends that are close to them, that sort of first story, but then they could be going to work and telling the people at work this story, like who knows what that looks like. They could be recognizing, they could actually be telling people and recognizing that there was some type of weird competition, and I actually don't see it for this particular part of the reading as in a like who is the best. I see it as in a who had it hardest, or who was contributing the most, or something like that. And it was just like the epitome of like, we are no longer a team, like we are no longer working together, which is really sad because I actually feel like there really was love here anyway. And then some of you are being encouraged to trust your friends, but I don't think that's even what this is. I think this person, someone could have just got a message here, right? And that could be linked, like to do with what it was that sort of came in quick or came out of nowhere or changed the situation or was like really intense, or just like it could have been a real shock, right? Is something to do with a group chat, even if it wasn't a group chat, just Facebook messages, or I don't know, any sort of messages on social media. So many different types of social media. But I mean, if we're talking about, it could be a group chat. This could just be this person talking about you in a group chat. I think that's probably more likely what it is. And I think there's something here where it's like there's recognition on whoever this person is talking to, that their friends are kind of thinking, wow, this person is like emotionally constipated, or this person really has a little bit of growing up to do, or they're just dealing with a lot of like emotional BS right now that they just need to take their time and kind of work through, whatever that is. But I think some of their friends are kind of confused how they've even come to this point. It's hard to say what's really going on here, and I don't want to delve too far into like who this person's talking to, like their friends and stuff, because I'm not even really sure that the friends entirely see this person clearly either, or are really listening properly or understanding like what's really going on or being said. Actually makes me wonder if they're either too busy, have their own kind of stuff, own troubles going on that are like kind of weighing them down in some sense. I've got to say, honestly, it just feels like there's just a lot going on here. Like the chances are that this could genuinely be multiple different people in your life. Wouldn't surprise me one little bit. Like it could be very, very possible. But a lot of it seems to be around a marriage that ended, or a long-term relationship, or a serious connection or something. What I would say is that if you weren't in like a romantic kind of marital relationship, would be that this could have been someone who you were like deeply, deeply close with. So, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So there's also, what else are we getting here? Because I feel like we're meant to be talking about, like, all of this it does all genuinely feel like this is what people are talking about, like you, but this thing about being confused seems to be being highlighted. Potentially a person who's like angry at you. And so these could also be some of the, like, I feel like they aren't angry at you, but I also feel like this is probably the things they're saying, is that they are really confused. And I think when they talk, even if they're not directly saying the words, I'm so angry at group one, which they could be, but it could just be the way that they talk about this is like really anger filled and really passionate. It's like, yeah, lots of anger, lots of I don't know. I wanted to say hatred or despair, but I don't even think either of those are really right. It's like, I think it's like a love-hate kind of thing. Like, they hate to love you and love to hate you all at the same time. Like, it's a very drama-filled kind of thing for this person who's talking about you. I actually think for some of you, they kind of get a kick out of talking about you because they like the idea of being, when they feel like when they talk about you, you know how I said that they thought they were like, they wanted to place themselves at the same like level as you. So I think when they talk about you, it makes them feel like they are at the same level as you, because it's then kind of, it like qualifies them to talk about you because you are, or kind of the other way around where it's like, you know, because they do that, then they feel like in other people's minds, it will put them at the same level as you because they like know you so well, or because they're kind of critiquing something about you. It just feels a bit, yeah, just drama filled, a little bit, like rudimentary, kind of like a little bit, I don't know, just, I think, so I do wonder how much this person kind of, I do feel like they're kind of like a busy person though, so, and they probably talk to like lots of people or are doing lots of things and whatnot, so I'm kind of surprised as to why there's so much focus on you. I just think that it's more of something where they do get a kick out of it with the pedestal thing we were talking about, but I also think there's something here where they are kind of hung up on it, and no, there's something else. It's like every time I go to talk about it, it's like the thought's going, and I've been just having it happen too many times. And sometimes when that happens, it's because like the feeling that I kind of get is that it's like they don't want it to be acknowledged or made known or discussed or something like that here, like why they're really talking about it. Do you know what it makes me think of? Like energy, like manipulation, but like in kind of in a interfering like way. And it's not really, I don't know, like it's not something, I don't know, I feel like sometimes stuff like that comes up and it can be quite unnerving, and I try not to take it too seriously. I realize there are people out there that really struggle to feel like they have a sense of control in their life, or there are people that really want to take situations into their own hands or not leave things to chance, or they're very attached to the outcome, like whatever the whole number of reasons are that I guess there could be. And even if it's not something that's like totally, I don't know, I hate to think that I'd be talking to the wrong person right now, but like it's just, it feels like even if this person is not doing anything kind of weird behind the scenes, they're definitely trying to craft like a narrative to set things up for you to be like seen in a certain light. And I think that they know part of how to do this well, or to be taken seriously, or to actually be effective in the way that they want to do this, is to be able to kind of acknowledge some of the points of where you're great, so that they can kind of demonstrate that maybe like they're not trying to be biased or something. I just feel like when it gets to this point in the reading, I kind of get like, I don't really know what the point of it is anymore. I don't know how much further we really want to take it. I might just take some more cards and just see like what else we get. Otherwise I might try to do like a bit of a clear up, or kind of pack down and set up again. Okay, so this was actually setting on the top of the deck when I was looking at the cards out of the corner of my eye, and I seen it and it seemed really relevant, and I was like, no, I haven't even touched that deck, I'm just going to ignore it. And the exact same card that I like after I shuffled has come back out. So we have Uttara as a Vajrapada. I don't know if it's necessarily related to this nakshatra at all, but I was actually getting the word coward come through. I'm being mostly drawn to the imagery. And just get it, like, I don't know. I feel like what I'm getting is not really relative to like the nakshatra information itself, but just like what goes around comes around, and like the typical like a snake looking, like, you know, snakish behavior, that sort of stuff. We are getting, it does say like debilitated in with Pisces. Yeah, debilitated Pisces placement. And the literal next card that was again at like on top of the deck after taking the Uttara Bhadrapada card was the Ravati, and we've been having this come out a lot, which is the next Pisces placement, or the next chakra in Pisces. So it's like one on top of each other. So that could be confirmation for some of you, but I'm not going to read into that too much more. All right, we are going to do a quick little pack down. I actually feel like this is not the end of your reading, group 1. So I'm just going to clear some of this up because I don't really want this energy on the table. I feel like it's not really helpful. I feel like this is stuff that you probably know. I don't know if there's like really much that was illuminated there. I just want to see, so like what's being said about group 1. I feel like that's that same story trying to come out. We don't want it. Let's start again. What's being said? Okay. Some type of communication or letter or message or something coming in very quickly, and it could actually rock you a little bit. So this person could try to like make or break contact with you to kind of get you in your head, or so that you would be you would mentally block yourself off in some way. Or it could be, they could, if you're like a bit of an anxious person, or what is it like, I sometimes get Two of Swords come through as like analysis paralysis, and I sort of wonder if this person knows that about you and that they would like to do that. Or even if they're not intentionally doing it, it's like they send you this message out of nowhere. You probably don't really know what to do, or you don't have all the answers or something like that. And then I keep getting the feeling I might have someone here in group 1 who's watching this reading who this reading's actually not for. Like, so when I'm getting these messages come through, I know we have, let's say like I have an energy coming through that I'm like starting to try to read, and then I have this other situation coming in on top. So I don't know, it feels like I have someone here in group 1 who's kind of maybe you're not wanting the like you're wanting to hear what one specific person is saying, like you've set an intention for it, and I feel like that's what we maybe started to touch on. And when I've sort of cleared those cards away and pulled out new cards, so we can try to start fresh and just see if there's more to this, or like we can either go further in depth, we can get clarity and insight, or we can look at a different situation. And every time that I try to talk about it, I feel like I'm getting a self-imposed story kind of come through, if that makes sense. So I feel like I'm getting one person's side of the story kind of being imprinted over the top of what messages they want to actually have come through. It's like they would really like the message to flow a certain way. I don't know if it's necessarily even for, I mean, I feel like for a lot of them it could definitely be to do with themselves, but it actually feels like more of a maybe some of, I don't know. Alright, we're going to try one more time, and then if it's not going to work, I'm just going to just go with whatever comes through. Like, that's always what I try to do, but it's different when I feel like something's interfering, right? It's like I always try to let come through whatever needs to come through, whatever's for the highest good, whatever it is that, like, you know, is ultimately most helpful for us. And maybe this would be, but maybe there's other things here that want to come out as well, or maybe they're not going to come out until this does. Okay, so something else that this person could be saying is that they sent a message. They were like very confused, or they didn't understand something. They don't have the whole picture of how something played out. And then they just kind of went on with their life. So that's one thing. And I do feel like that was maybe what I was trying to get out. This person, it could be telling that to like a best friend or children. Okay, so we also have the High Priestess here. I feel like they're not telling the whole story. And we also have the Hangman. So like double confirmation on Pisces there as well. So the Hangman being Neptune and the High Priestess being Pisces, as well as Ravati and Uttara Bhadrapara also being Pisces. So we do have Aquarius here. Oh, sorry, Uranus here with the Fool, but Uranus can be the ruler of Aquarius. So someone could have just said that they felt like they sent a message and they weren't really getting a response, or they don't really know what to say or something, and it just seemed like the other person didn't really care, or that they didn't really care, and so they just kind of like picked up where they left off and just like went on their merry way. But I feel like there's like an actual secret here. There's like something's being concealed. There's a truth not being shared. There was something, this person's seen something and they're not sharing it. And I think as much as they're saying something about you kind of being blocked off from them sending you a message or something like that, this person, it's kind of like a divine, I don't know if I want to say it's a mirror, what it is. It's like spirit is like, you have a secret that you're meant to tell group one. Like, it actually feels like a divine, like divinely per the playbook of how it's meant to go, which is weird for me to say, but I feel like I say weird shit in these readings all the time, so let's get used to it, right? If this doesn't resonate, don't take it on, just leave it for those it does. It feels like this person has withheld, they've literally seen something play out, they've withheld it, they've kept it to themselves. I feel like they had multiple opportunities to sort of come clean, or even a couple of like awkward moments where it may have felt like now's the moment, like now, like you might even talked about certain things that kind of brimmed the topic, and that would have been that open invitation and they couldn't rise to meet the occasion. I think they felt very like tied up or like hands tied, but I actually think they were like so just not willing to go there, and they kind of constricted themselves. Do you know what it feels like? A person who has the fact that they've the fact that they have kept this secret in the first place, I think has made them feel so bad that they would just rather die with it now than ever let you know that they knew the secret, okay? So there could be a little bit of that playing out here. I think there's like a few things playing out here that I'm starting to get goosebumps. There's a few things playing out here that I feel like they want to act dumb. They want to act like they never knew, that they didn't see anything. They just want to act kind of, they're playing dumb. This is a person who's smarter than this and they're playing dumb. Just to be frank. Okay, so yeah, they're gonna act like they didn't see what happened. This person literally could have been there and they could have witnessed it, like in front of your eyes in the same room, and they're like, oh yeah, I was like distracted with the kids, or I was talking to this person, so I wasn't really paying attention. No, you weren't. You're like, oh my god, whatever. Okay, just, my god, it feels so ridiculous. Like, I'm almost just like, it's just funny, like how stupid it is. Anyway. Yes, I said that. Yes, I said that. Yes, I said all the things I've said this video. I think that they still want a connection with you, and I think they actually want to act like, part of them, they do want to actually just like fill you in, because they know that it's like your divine right to know whatever this secret is. But part of it is that they don't actually want to tell you the secret. There might be like a nice sentiment or intention, but they would actually have to take real world action and steps towards completing that. And I've got to be honest, I don't think they have the balls, although it looks like, you know, pentacles are usually pretty like solid. So I think what it is, it's more of like a peace offering. I don't know if they're really going to be forthcoming with the truth. Yeah, cups. They might like, I don't know. I actually think Spirit's going to give you something here. I think Spirit's going to send in some sort of like wish fulfillment for you. I think you're going to have a person come in who you're probably going to get a lot more. This might have already happened. It's hard to say, but I would say it would have been somewhere in between whatever this ish that was playing out. I feel like this person's like, they just could be talking about something that played out 6 months ago. You know, it's hard to say with this stuff. 9 months ago, could be longer. This, what do we got? I'm going to do a quick number call out. So we have 8, we have 2, could be in the present. We also have 9. I want to say maybe 3 and 6 as well. So any of those numbers could be like a weeks, months. It could be like a days, weeks, months, years sort of thing. Take what resonates there. But I think, yeah, Spirit's going to send you in a person who's like a little bit more, a person who maybe shows up a little bit more, or is like a little bit more, I don't know, like, I think like if you hung out with an, I don't know why I'm talking about it like it's just a social thing, because I mean it could be, but whoever this person is, it's like you might actually physically spend more time with this person. I don't mean it in an intimate way. I mean like they might actually just show up for you. They might be more reliable. They might be a person who's just like pretty happy to be there. They might be a bit more reciprocal. They might have a bit more to give you, or they might, I think they might just put more like value on your connection or something like that. And so this could also be, I feel like we're kind of leaving the topic, and I did feel like there was another message that wanted to come through. I think there is some type of acknowledgement of you being, okay, it feels like we're going back to what this person could be saying, that you are like a really kind person and a really compassionate person. You probably like really hold space very well. You could be very intuitive. That definitely come through as well. And you could be a person who does actually, you make a genuine concerted effort and you actually like show up. You actually are reliable. You actually do the things, and you are like a wish fulfillment. And I actually feel like this person has fumbled you, and it's like not a word that I really like using that much. I feel like it gets thrown around so much, but it's like genuinely dropped the ball, genuinely just fumbled you. And it feels like this actually sounds really similar to one of the last readings that I did, and it might have been the one where I actually did a snippet of a short where I had the Ravati card, and I was actually saying about how this person could have made whatever the decision was or taken whatever action, whether it was because of like out of wanting like a popularity, or whether it was to do with you know, like impressing a certain person, or just being kind of scared of that other person's reactions, and then not wanting to be the person who would cop any fallout or flack or something. It was like, it definitely came from a place of this person didn't want to be on the outer, and instead they just kind of let you sink. It was like, oh, what is it? I just heard like, let sleeping fishes lie, or I don't know what I'm trying to say. So there's like the sink or swim thing, but there's also the, yeah, letting sleeping bodies lie, or letting, yeah, something weird. Okay, what else do we have? Okay, I just want to do a letter call out as well, because it's seeming to be stand out. So we have WMBTJ. Okay, that's that. All right, so we also have, yeah, this person could have been trying to like juggle two connections at once. They also could have been trying to make a decision which one they would prefer to, if they had to drop one, like who would be the person that they would drop or that they would kind of spend more time with. And there also could have been a level or an acknowledgement of, I don't know if it was like jealousy themselves. I don't feel like this particular person would necessarily like take it out on you. I just think that they may have recognized that they felt they felt a way that was really uncomfortable for them, but they had a lot of feelings there. I think it really took over them a couple of points where they've maybe like really taken it on kind of seriously, and they may have felt, this person may genuinely actually have felt like you had sort of tried to shortchange them or jib them in some way, and that is more of a feeling than what they've said about you. But I mean, they could have told like one or two very close people to them. The number 2 is being highlighted as well, because we have 2, and I'm sure that we have it here in other cards as well, because we also had like it might have been in the other cards that we had come out earlier, was like the 2 of Cups. This person, I feel like they sit on the fence. They cannot make decisions. To get the 2 of everything, it's so much decisional energy. It's so much juggling. It's so much indecision. It's like this person doesn't know whether they're coming or going, who's the best choice, and what it actually feels like. I actually feel like this person's pretty disingenuous in the sense that they cannot... I don't even feel like this person wanted to honor both relationships separately. I feel like this person didn't have a backbone to kind of say, this is what I want or what I don't want, or this is what I agree with or what I don't agree with, or because even if the two people, like even if you and someone else that they were kind of friends with for whatever reason are like at odds or something like that, you know, they could have still spent time with both of you. I'm just hearing the words in theory. So maybe they thought in their mind that they could, and then when it came down to it, it just got too much, or it was too hard or too awkward for them. So maybe they did try to do it genuinely and it just kind of fell apart. But I do feel like it was more about they wanted to... It did feel like a strong fence-sitting energy, so there could be a lot of not wanting to be involved there as well. I mean, that's fair to not want to get involved in stuff, but the way it comes through is very like trying to pick and choose, going back to that thing about out of popularity, out of potentially like a people-pleaser-y type thing, or being kind of more scared that the other person would kind of put them in some sort of awkward position or something if they didn't. Yeah. And we have the Emperor, so we also have Aries here as well as Pisces. And okay, so we just had the storage go full and we are back. I do feel like most of what I was talking about with this Emperor card was just basically a lot of the same stuff that we've already said on repeat. And that's probably where we can just leave that. I think it's just really important when we do readings like this. I think you would all know like what the truth is and what the truth isn't, but it's just important to remind ourselves that just because of the things that are being said about us that are coming through doesn't really make them true just because someone says it. And I feel like a lot of this that has come through, look, we've got like the domination card, like 2 of Wands. It's like I used to kind of get this card as like the path of least resistance, but I think it's because I'm not so competitive, and I feel like for some people that it really matters, and when it does, then it's like a real internal struggle for themselves. And I think it's just good to be mindful that a lot of the things that kind of come out and how people navigate the world, it's a little bit more telling about some of their own things than it is really reflective of us as a person. So this person seems to have more of a struggle, internal struggle with themselves than anything else. But that all being said, hopefully this is helpful to you all in some way, and I'll see you all in another one. Take care. Okay. Group 2, if you chose the Clarity Clear Quartz roller, then this will be your reading today. It's very chill reading, but I mean, it's also about like what they're saying about you, so it'll be interesting. I feel like the topic is not very chill, even if we're feeling very laxy about how we go about this. Okay, so the first thing that they could be saying about you is that you're not happy with where you are, what you're doing in some type of relationship or home or people that you live with, and that you are probably quite independent, or you're pretty good on your own. You don't really need others. There could be something here where part of what they're saying about you not being happy with something, with the way a relationship was going, or a marriage, or I don't know, whoever you were living with, whatever that was, that you maybe felt quite alone. So there could be some sort of acknowledgement here. I don't know. It's like what a person's saying. This person could be saying that you had everything and that you just still weren't happy with it, okay? And that you broke your own heart, and that I think there's something here where they're trying to kind of paint you a picture of you as a person who, what am I trying to say? Like, yeah, you weren't grateful, but they're also trying to say something here about you're a person who just doesn't really want to be locked down or something like that. They're trying to, yeah, I don't know. So they're also highlighting something here about you liking nice things. So they're trying to say that what they had to give you wasn't enough, or like, it makes me think of like the J-Lo song that Love Don't Cost a Thing. And he was like trying to buy her love, but she was like, that's not really love. So there could be some sort of theme there playing out. And if it's not that, it could actually be like a flip. Like maybe even if someone wasn't trying to buy your love, they could have just been like, here, can't you just take these things and be happy with it, and then not want to do any of the emotional work or something, or not want to actually invest in you emotionally or something like that. There is also something here where maybe you would actually try to build a connection with this person and they weren't really interested in that. They just kind of wanted you there to really like look the part and take up the space or do the things. There's also something here, which is kind of what I was getting earlier, is that they could be saying something about you wanting the finer things in life and just not being happy with what they had to offer. We did talk about that. Okay, so we're starting to get repeat sort of messages. They could just be trying to say that you had really high standards or something like that. But they're also trying to say I'm getting something here where they're trying to paint a picture of you that you're maybe like a bit more like mischievous or promiscuous or something than what you are. Like I keep getting this reference to like a lady of the night. So take what resonates with that, okay? You know, love the way that like some of the sayings and stuff come through when it like comes through. I think they're just seeing it here as something as like you just want something that they don't possess, or I don't know, it's like you want something that's outside of yourself, or that's like, I don't know. I think they're acknowledging a heartbreak here. Some of them are trying to say it was like a betrayal. Some of them are trying to say that you're more concerned about how you dressed and the objects that you, like material possessions and stuff, than what you were with the relationship. And we've got, you're not their healing journey, you're just the unpaid pit stop. You showed up with love, snacks, and growth potential, and they showed up with trauma and no gas. Let them find a mechanic, not another muse. Yeah, it kind of does seem like that. It's, this person could be saying that about you, but I actually think that that's more like part of the reality. Like actually, like even if they are saying it, it's like something that's true anyway. But it could be on either side. Yeah. Oh my god, we keep getting Rivati coming out. I was like, we're in March, aren't we? Is that why? It's been coming out like so much lately in almost most of the groups that I've been doing. Okay, so let's see what's happening here. Okay, so the things that I'm kind of having stand out to me is to transcend wealthy, benevolent, charity, and the wealthy star. So there's a lot of focus here around like wealth and giving, like benevolent nature. So yeah, part of it is that I think this person could kind of be saying you're just like a charity case or something like that. And that you just want wealth or something. I don't know. It feels like they're trying to say you're just a lot more like materialistic or a lot more strategic or something like that than what you are. But I actually wonder if some of you would be like maybe more inclined to be like kind of spiritual or like less like, yeah, you might like good things. I don't know, but it like maybe you do like to look nice or you care about the way you dress or something. I don't know how far it really goes, but I actually feel like you're actually like quite natured, nice natured, not quite natured. I think they might catch themselves in small moments where they kind of, maybe they start to talk about something and then they realize that it would actually reflect like the truth. And then they're like, oh, I can't have that. I don't even know how much I would say that this person's outright lying. I just feel like they maybe don't want to totally acknowledge the truth of a situation themselves either. And with that being the case, it's kind of hard for them to, I think they would really prefer, I don't know. It seems so pointless talking about readings like this when I guess we don't have to know why. We are just doing like what's being said, but okay. They could be saying you're a really good talker. They could be saying that you're very confident, that you're very composed. They could be saying that you're quite attractive. There's like a strong acknowledgement here of something to do with your appearance, okay? They could, we're getting the cat come through. They could actually genuinely be talking about a cat, where they could be saying that you wanted a cat, or they should have just let you have a cat, or they could be something here about if you're like, you know, sometimes you get women that are a little bit witchy and they'll have like a little familial cat or animal or something like that. I don't know. It might not even be about a cat. It could just be like any animals. It could be about a pair. Some of them, I think they need to acknowledge, they are acknowledging in someone that they're talking to, what they're saying about you, that you needed more independence. So I think they are, over time, being forced to recognize, and through whoever they're talking to, I think they're starting to realize that you didn't want to be necessarily separate from them, although it looks like you are now. But maybe you actually just wanted a bit more independence within your connection or relationship to them. So like maybe you still wanted to be together, but you wanted to just be able to be your own people in that connection kind of thing. Yeah, we have the King of Wands here. We have like the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. So I do feel like the fire signs very strongly here, like Aries, Leo, Sag. I feel a bit sad about this, like seeing this sort of layout and the way that it's coming through. Like it was, I don't know if it was 10 of Cups or if it was meant to be 10 of Cups. It feels, I actually think that this relationship was meant to transcend wealth. Like, it wasn't meant to be about the possessions. And I think the fact that this person was kind of saying that it was is really reducing the relationship down to almost nothing. That's really sad. I almost feel like I could be feeling a little bit of residual kind of emotion come through for this. So this person, when they're talking about it, as they're having these realizations, they could actually be starting, I don't know, maybe they just still have feelings here. Maybe they're just still sad about the way things panned out. Is there anything else? I don't know how open or receptive to conversations, or like if there was a problem when you were in connection and you needed to talk to each other, I don't know how open they were to genuinely hearing what you had to say and taking it on board, or trying to work together to kind of do something different. So, I mean, there's always that. Let's see what else we've got. I was sort of saying to myself that we have like the King of Wands or the Queen of Wands, and I heard in my mind like the Grand Fire Trine, and I was wondering to myself, is that when you have the Knight of Wands as well? Because I knew it was like Aries, Leo, Sag, and we have the Knight of Wands here has actually come out, and we have the Two of Wands as well. And so it's like, I do think that this person realizes that they were in a power struggle with a person that they forced into a power struggle, if that makes sense. So like, they may have been trying to fight you when you weren't trying to fight, or they may have something like that. It may have been a dominance thing, and they didn't realize what they were doing. There could have been something here where they were still trying to be a little bit in and out and trying to defend themselves through kind of, it was like in means of defending themselves, they would rather find a way to try to attack you, to kind of put the heat on you or something like that, or pretend like, you know, kind of redirect that attention and focus that you're the issue or something. So that's, it feels very immature in that instance. It feels like kind of young or something like that. But it's really sad, because I feel like with having Pisces here with Ravati, that it is meant to be very transcendent. Like, it's actually meant to be very good. It could have really gone the distance. I keep getting the infinity sign. So like we have, don't mind chair scraping in the background, right? Infinity, like the 8, abundance, and literally infinity. And I just keep thinking about the longevity that was supposed to be here, especially when we have like the 4 of Wands, and it's just sad. Anyway, so this person felt like they need to go to independent, or they're saying that they're saying one of the two. They could be saying both, to be honest. They could be kind of saying that through you, I feel like this story is evolving over time. So what I think is that they've probably said a host of these things to the same people, and it's like maybe over time they've like elaborated a little bit more here and there as well. So there's always that. Okay, is there anything else here? I mean, look, this is also called clarity, right? So this person, what they could be talking about is a lot of coming into realizing like their own clarity in the situation that maybe they didn't have before, because there definitely could have been a lot going on at the time, like genuinely a lot, like just chaos in ways that was maybe unmanageable or unbearable, or like very stressful situations. And this person, I felt like they genuinely didn't really know how to handle it. And you might be surprised, but I think instead of this person choosing to use their words, that they just tried to take action the best way that they could, and it would just kind of set them up to fail in some sense. I think there was so much going on in real time, life circumstances at the time, that this person, their head was probably spinning. They didn't know which way to turn or what to do. This person could have been made an adult too young. Like, they could have had caregivers. They could have been like parentified, or they could have been people that lost caregivers when they were young or something like that. And so there's a sense here that maybe they didn't get to be a child in the way that other people got to be a child. And I feel like something to do with that maybe has led to some type of like emotional kind of stagnancy or immaturity in a sense. And it's not to say that this person can't get there, but maybe it's going to take them a bit longer. And I feel like this person's very strong-willed, and I think it's the saddest thing of all. I actually feel like they're quite good in their heart. That's really sad that it's gotten to this point. Okay, so I think this person may appear stoic on the surface, or very controlled or performative on the surface. They could also, they could do like a bit of the social dance as well. But I think that there's an absolute storm underneath. So much like stormy imagery between like the clouds. It's like almost like, I was getting the word hurricane, but it almost looks like the top of like a volcano or something, right? Or like a, I don't know, just lightning, thunder, yeah, fire. Okay, this person could also be saying that they could be including themselves. They could be talking about commonalities, shared characteristics or traits that you both have, but I actually feel like it's definitely something they could be saying about you, is that you could be quite hard-headed, quite determined, quite stubborn, as well. So yeah, I think there is an acknowledgement here of attraction. I think we talked about that. I think there's an acknowledgement here of having been a divine counterpart, very auspicious, should have been a relationship that stood the test of time, and I think there's something here where the family unit, whether there's children involved or not, the two of you together, living together, would have been, I don't know how to really explain it. I'm kind of getting it come through in a way of, it was like the two of you living together would have been like very harmonious, where it would have been like granted like a spiritual protection type of thing, if that makes sense. Like it would have been a very loving kind of, I don't know why, but it feels like a transcended space. I kind of get like an overlay of like the 5th house and Pisces, or Leo even in the 3rd house as well. It's hard to say with that. It could come through as many different things. I mean, we do have Pisces in Venus here, right, which is meant to be excellent. For some of you, I do feel like I am getting a person who maybe passed too soon or too young. I'm getting reference to the 27 club. It doesn't have to mean that it was at 27. It could have been anywhere from like 20 through to 27. It could, if it's not between 20 and 27, as in like at that age that they did cross over, it could be like a how many years ago sort of situation as well. And I think it's this person maybe is acknowledging that they had a lot of like a lot of deep sort of inner storms or chaos or turmoil or something going on, that I think this is them they're kind of granting you like a spiritual protection through them coming through. But it's highlighting safe travels for me. So it's like this person makes sure that when you travel that you always get there safe. There is something here that this is like an acknowledgement of them actually transcending in spirit. So people that maybe go too young sometimes, or they go intentionally, I guess there can be a thing. I don't know how it really works. Everyone's so different, right? But from what I understand from my own experiences and everything, they can sometimes have a harder time kind of being stuck on like the earthly plane before they kind of cross over properly, if that makes sense. And there's an acknowledgement of this person transcending themselves. And I feel like that would make a lot of sense, because you have a lot more understanding, right, when you're on the other side. So I think this person probably acknowledges their youth in the situation, and that, I don't know, they could have been a bit of an in and out, but I actually think that it would kind of be frivolous if there was. So, I mean, it could have been, I don't know, I feel like this person could have kept parts of themselves separate, but it does seem like a person who would have been that close to you, where you would have been like a partnership situation as well. And I still feel like this is something kind of recurring for you guys. So if both of these, you know, we kind of seem to have like two sets here. So we've got two different, you know, situations, two different people saying things about you, I guess. So there's like that first situation we talked about, and then the second person who's kind of crossed over, and not kind of, like they are. But for some of you, you could have experienced repeat relationships where there has been either a power struggle, and if it's not a power struggle, it's like an unwillingness to kind of just be a team or work together or something like that, like a not a togetherness, but in a relationship, not together, where you are kind of still having to do things on your own or be independent in times or ways that you didn't want to, or didn't make sense for a relationship to be like that. So take what resonates there for that one, because I feel like that's going to be a little bit heavier hitting than maybe that. I don't know. I mean, they both could be pretty. We did already talk about the signs. What else do we have here? Yeah, I feel like that's it. Okay. That's everything that I have for you today, Group 2. Hopefully this is helpful and insightful to you all in some way. If the messages resonate and you haven't already, definitely subscribe. But, I mean, like, if you want a way to kind of show love or support the channel, liking the video, if you know you definitely got something out of it, is always like a great way to be able to show appreciation as well. So thank you to those of you that do that, and I will see you all in another reading. Bye. Okay, welcome in Group 3. If you chose the healing green Aventurine roller, then this will be your reading today for what they are saying about you. The first thing that I heard is F the haters. So for those of you that this could be something that someone feels like something someone would say to you, right? Unless it's like you are just copping a lot of heat or hate in general at the moment, then it's like this person is like, you know, telling a friend how people are maybe like saying unkind things about you, not to you. We also here have the 9 of Cups, 2 of Cups, and the 4 of Wands. So this feels kind of weird that we would get it come through in this way. It's like, this could be a person here who is saying how great you are, how much of a wish fulfillment you are, how fulfilling in general you are, how much joy they get out of you or their connection with you. It could be like really loving, kind, supportive connection as well. There could be something here where they appreciate the things that you do together, and the time that you spend together and how much you pour into each other. But there could be like a strong acknowledgement here of how you're both like seemingly able to come together as yourselves in like total harmony or in balance in some way. And it is like a really strong foundation going forward for the future as well. There's also something here, so they could be saying something about the home being kind of warm and cozy, or like a peaceful or safe place or something like that. It feels like a really lovely balanced life with you, and I feel like that's what they're saying to whoever it is that they're talking to. Okay, let's see what else we have. Yeah, I think this person is maybe saying that they have like a lot of love for you, and that they are very like, they feel very deeply for you, and that maybe sometimes it's like a balance for them to, or a balance for you, sorry, to balance like your beautiful home life or relationship or connection, whatever that looks like, because it feels very close and very stable, very foundational, very long term. All the things that I already sort of said. But they could be saying that sometimes it's a bit of a juggling act or a balancing act, trying to kind of pursue maybe hobbies or the things that they would like to do in life, as well as get to still maintain and take really good care of this like really beautiful relationship or home environment that you share. And I think that I think there is an acknowledgement here of being able to do the things that they like to do also helps them be the person that they need to be to show up in the home environment in the way that they do. There's a very strong like innocent feeling here. I feel like this person is quite genuine in the things that they say about you. I feel like they're quite loving, quite doting, they're very caring, they're very honest, and there's like a deeply, you know what this feels like? Feels like a man who's actually like saying their feelings. But they actually know how they feel, but they're saying their feelings. It doesn't have to be, but it feels like that, okay? So you can just acknowledge the like irony even if it's not a man, okay? My God. I think there is something here where this person is saying that they sometimes get confused about like what is supposed to fuel what. So they could be saying that they need money to like fuel the dream, but then they also need like this loving, compassionate side of themselves to like fuel the, you know, the things that really matter in life that we kind of talked about. There's definitely a balancing act here going on, and there's definitely something here where they could be saying that they could be saying that with you guys, you get to do it together, and that they like wouldn't have it any other way, because no one else would probably like, I feel like they're trying to say that you guys, I don't know if you like the same stuff or if you like take turns doing things with each other that you both like, or I don't know what this is. All I know is that it's good. They could be saying that you guys are a team. My God, for the first time in a reading, it's like, you're a team. I'm so happy for you. All right. It just doesn't feel like it. I don't know. We do have good readings come through, but it's just like, it's nice. It's very nice. Okay, so we have Virgo, but we also have the 6th house. So definitely a person in your day-to-day, or in Aries in the 1st house. Okay, so, I mean, Aries, Virgo, and we have Libra as the last. I'm not going to take any more. So these signs could be relevant, but I do see it highlighting the houses, okay? So 1st house is kind of how we are, how we show up, like our personality, who we are kind of thing. 6th house is like your day-to-day, your jobs, your routines, the home environment, can be like working on your health and cooking meals. Like it's just like showing up and doing the jobs, like going through the notions kind of thing, and how you do them and all that sort of stuff. And then like, and that can be caretaking and stuff as well, right? And then the seventh house can be like relationships, and I think it is meant to be like more one-to-one relationships as well. So this all, to me, makes kind of perfect sense that all of them come out the way that they did. I do want to say there could be something here that they appreciate, the ability to be self-directed, but also I think there could be, it doesn't matter like what yours or your person's signs are. There could be energies here that it's like they're either saying these things about themselves and or about you kind of in tandem. Like, I feel like one of you is very like nurturing and caring, and that the other one is maybe, oh, do you know what it's making me think of? It's making me think of just like straight up and down, like masculine and feminine. Like, one person's kind of strong, providery type, goes out, does the thing, gets the thing, you know, like takes action. That's what it feels like. It feels like there's just one person taking action, and there's like one person who is kind of home taking, like child rearing, maybe. I'm not sure. It doesn't have to be just that black and white. Honestly, it doesn't have to resonate for everyone, because the way I was getting it come through before is that, yeah, this person could just really like to take care of you, or they could be saying how you take care of them. I think there's like a strong attraction here. Okay, there's like a lot of, they're also just saying how much of a good balance you guys are together. Yeah, there's a lot. I think they're saying something here about like the day-to-day and themselves meshing well, even if that might sound odd to you. Like, you might think that this, you're not sure at times, maybe if this person would think that. I don't know. I think this person would be, I don't know, they kind of strike me as like, I wanted to say like a man with a mission, whether they're a man or not. It's like they could just, I don't know if they're like always on the go necessarily, or if they just are like kind of determined or something. Okay. Do we want more cards? Next chapter. Let's see. Ashwini. Oh yeah, we have Aries again. That's like double confirmation on Aries. All right, let's see what we got. So we do have Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. I'm just kind of getting it as like the forward movement. They're just like moving forward. There's like, it's like health, like strong health, mobility, very active. Yeah, and being like quick, like physical, like it's, there's a lot more here to the nakshatra, but that's just kind of what I'm getting come through, very highlighted. Okay, that's all that we need. It's very like, it's, yeah, it's number one as well. So, okay. Is there anything else here that we have a group 3 of what's being said about them? No, that's everything that I have for you today, group 3. I hope that this is like, I don't know, it's really lovely having readings come like through like that. So I hope that you enjoyed this. Definitely like the video if it resonated. I'll see you in another one. Take care.